Hello, I'm Father Louis Scurti with Joe Carlozzo. Welcome, Joe,
you,
on
Father.
the weekday word. And of course, this topic is currently one of the most popular topics that the church is talking about: marriage slash annulment slash marriage. And that's what we're talking about today. Joe, on a previous episode, shared his story with us about coming from a marriage as a recovering alcoholic. At that point, you weren't recovering.
No.
You were an alcoholic. So the sacrament was entered into on the facade, but from the depth of the commitment, it was lacking something. And I'm not speaking for Joe, I'm just reiterating.
No, that's right, yeah.
But I'd like to share from Catholic Catechism of the Catholic Church, two things. One is the section on matrimonial consent, and the nullity section, and then what celebration of marriage is all about. For this reason, or for other reasons that render the marriage null and void, the Church, after an examination of the situation by a competent ecclesiastical tribunal, can declare the nullity of a marriage. That is, the marriage never existed. In this case, the contracting parties are free to marry, provided the natural obligations of a previous union are discharged. Now, for further information, the Church continues, the priest or deacon who assists at the celebration of a marriage receives the consent of the spouses in the name of the Church and gives the blessing of the Church. The presence of the Church's minister and witnesses visibly expresses the fact that the marriage is an ecclesiastical reality. For this reason, this is the reason why the Church normally requires that the faithful contract according to the ecclesiastical form, and several reasons converge to explain this requirement and the aspects of marriage as a liturgical act, as an order, as an event within the Church. It's one of the sacraments that a priest or deacon or bishop does not perform. We become witnesses. The actual contracting parties are the sacramental essence. The two people getting married, are the sacrament in process. And we, the clergy, and other witnesses are just that, witnesses.
Right. That was a revelation to me when I was taught that it's the sacrament that the husband and wife give to each other on an ongoing basis.
Every day. That's a great way of saying
yeah,
that.
it was a yaha moment because I never knew that. And I was like, wow. So whenever we're living our matrimonial life in holiness or as best we can, we're really invoking and honoring that sacrament each day. And that was, I felt that.
Yeah, in the description of the sacraments, we have what we call form, and the form and essence of, say, the Eucharist is very obvious. We think the bread, the wine. Now, they're necessary. You can't use cake and you can't use soda. It's bread and wine. Very important. And the words of consecration, besides the whole Eucharistic prayer, very important, by a competent person, priest or bishop, the pope, cardinal, whatever. But the sacrament of marriage is unique because it's people right. Sacramenting every day themselves.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. I think it's very underrated as far as sacraments go, matrimony. I really do. You learn these things. Wow, why didn't I ever know that?
I don't want to talk about who prepared you. That's another story.
No, that's a long time ago, but...
okay, so you were prepared for the first sacrament.
Right.
As far as you remember. What year was that you...
1974.
Okay. And we talked about in previous episode that it was declared null by the Church, and you talked about the reasons for that. From the process of receiving the declaration of nullity to the new marriage, what happened? What was going on in your life?
Well, I had met my wife, present wife, Betty, and we fell in love, and we wanted to be married, and we wanted to bring God into it, and that's why I went for the annulment. I wanted to be married in the church, and that was my church.
Was Betty previously married?
Yes, she's a widow. My wife was widowed in '97, I think it was.
Okay, and of course...
So she was free to marry.
Yeah, right, that's free as a person.
I had the impediment, what I had to resolve was through the annulment, which I did. So we were free to marry again.
And you have children from the first marriage?
Yes, I have 3 children, grown children.
What was their reaction to the annulment and the new marriage?
They didn't really have an opinion about the annulment. They were just concerned about, the legitimacy of them which I had to explain to them again. I said, no, it has no problem. You're legitimate children. Don't worry. You're
Born of a
fine.
sacramental union.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no issue with you at all. And they were okay with it. You know, they love Betty. And
That's a great. That's a fine line for people, because if the marriage doesn't exist, never existed,
Right.
how well the sacramental union,
Right.
the conjugal love,
Right.
it was real,
Yeah,
and that's what's
yes,
important.
Yeah,
And-
that's why I suggest to people to look into it if they're considering, if they're in a marriage that is a broken marriage or whatever you want to, I don't
Mhm.
like to use that word, but if you're looking to maybe investigate remarriage in the Catholic Church,
Right.
you know, I strongly recommend that they go to their local pastor and talk about it.
Good. You said before it was your church. Tell us what that means.
You know, I know a lot of Catholic people who have left the Catholic Church because of separation and divorce. And I always felt, you know what? The church confirmed me. You stuck with me. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Great.
No, here I am.
You are the church.
I
it's
mean,
not
here,
that
this is it. This is what you get. We're not all, you know, St. Anthony's and, you know.
Right.
And that's how I felt about it. I never felt separated from the church.
Excellent.
You know, I never did. I met some very holy Capuchin Franciscans that really
And
helped
I see
me.
you wear the
Yes.
towel.
Yeah.
Explain to the audience what that
Yeah,
is.
I'm a member of the secular Franciscan order. It's a branch of the order that was started by St. Francis over 800 years ago.
Okay.
And it's for lay people to try to live in the charism of St. Francis, which is
Mhm.
Catholic like everybody else.
Right.
But we try to live in the spirit of St. Francis
Good.
as best we can.
So okay, so you brought the Catholic identity into your choice to be married again in the church.
Yeah, I think so. I hope
Okay.
so.
And the marriage took place where?
In Our Lady of Magnificat Church in Kinnelon, New
Great,
Jersey.
great.
Monsignor Carroll, God bless him.
Oh yeah.
And Father Bernard Murphy from the Friars of the Renewal.
Okay.
And we had a beautiful wedding ceremony.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And this marriage has been
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. We say we have entirely too much fun for people our age. Yeah. Because the kids are old and out of the house. It's just her and I. We have a cat. Anyway. No, I mean, it's just, we have fun. We don't take it too serious, you know.
It's how, maybe sensitive question, how do you relate to your former spouse?
No problem whatsoever. Actually, we've spent holidays together.
Stop, that's great.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened? Like, the kids got older, and my daughter finally said, you know what, we can't go to 3 houses on Christmas. Can we do this all together, please? And that's what we did. We had Christmas together one year. We had Easter together, wherever it is, you know, whatever.
Right,
Are you home?
right.
Come on, let's go.
Right.
And it's fine, you know.
Did she remarry?
Yes.
Good.
Yep, she's happily married.
Okay.
She lives in Pennsylvania. Actually, we're expecting our first grandchild.
Benedict, God
Yes,
bless
thank you. Yeah,
God bless
our daughter
Good,
Monica's
good,
having a baby.
Good.
And we, you know, we're all excited. And
The process was worth it.
for me, it was absolutely.
Although it was a little challenging, I imagine, with the
Yes.
paperwork.
Yeah, it was.
Did you need witnesses?
Yes, I had 2 witnesses, and they didn't have to appear personally. They gave a written testimony for me.
Okay.
They sent it into the tribunal.
Okay.
And the tribunal was very good. They were very helpful in all ways. You know,
Excellent.
they made it as seamless as possible.
So you became a married man again.
Yes.
That's
And,
wonderful.
yeah.
And I think the consent is so important. You were free, you were clear-headed,
Yeah.
psychologically and spiritually
It really
prepared
helped.
to
Yeah.
give the consent the second time.
Yeah. Yes, I was sober.
And I think in light of what's going on in the church right now, under the direction of Pope Francis,
This is very exciting.
looking at the family, examining the annulment
Yeah.
process, people are misguided so often. Being divorced does not prevent them from going to the sacraments. Being remarried without the annulment
Right. Yeah, it's
does.
touchy.
does.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so we want people to come home, and we
Yeah.
want them, as you said,
Come back.
we're all stuck with each other.
Yeah, you know, it's true. You know, here we are, we're broken, you know, but we're not unfixable, you know.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks.
Joe. This has been Joe Carnaluzzo and Father Louis Scurti with Friends of the Word. Thank you. Let me hear from you. Father Louis Scurti at hotmail.com. God bless you.
Okay, it was good. Thanks, Father. Yeah.